Guys, it's Alan from Dark Sky Wales. Again, we've got quite a cloudy and damp evening ahead, so I thought we would just go through a couple of things for you, so you've got a few pointers. So if you do get a break in the clouds this evening, you can nip outside and have a look. And the one aspect of the sky I want to look at the moment is the winter hexagon. It begins really just after 9 p.m. with the brightest star in the night sky, Sirius, sometimes referred to as the dog star. That takes you up to Procyon. Then you have Pollux, Castor, Capella, Aldebaran, and Rigel. And you can see you've got this kind of wonderful large shape in the sky. That asterism sometimes gets referred to as the winter circlet as well, so it's kind of an interchangeable term. Now inside of this particular hexagon this evening, you'll find lots of lovely objects, targets with your own eye, but also with the aid of a pair of binoculars, you'll start to see quite a few other things dotted around. If you own a telescope, then this area is jam-packed full of stuff, and as you can see here, this kind of misty patch you've got coming down through the field of view is the Milky Way, and it's the Orion arm of the Milky Way essentially, so it's kind of the winter part that we get to observe. But if you like a little bit of photography as well, and you've got the capability to take kind of long exposures, so with a digital SLR camera, some actual modern phone cameras are pretty good as well, as long as it's on tripods. You can pick out a lot of gaseous material in this area around Orion as well. And as you can see, as I zoom in here, you can start to see the redness coming through. Now this is known as the Orion molecular complex, and it's just one big bubble of gas really. And this particular area here is known as Barnard's Loop, and it's actually gorgeous if you can capture it correctly. But from a naked eye perspective, the one nebula that you can see is located within Orion's sword. So here you have the three stars of Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam and Mintaka, and then just down below you have the sword itself. But your eyes will kind of pick up this kind of misty patch, and that misty patch is the Great Nebula of Orion, as you can see here. Now in a pair of binoculars it looks like a grey cloud. With a telescope you start to pick up a lot more detail within it, but as with everything in astronomy, you need to let your eyes become dark adapted, and that dark adaptation takes between 15 to 20 minutes, and once you do, then your peripheral vision in particular, which is a phenomenon known as averted vision, will start to allow you to see a lot more detail. So prepare yourself, take your time, and then you can go and enjoy them. And a simple pair of 10 by 50 binoculars will bring out the beauty of the Orion Nebula. If you're going to hunt for things that are a little bit fainter, like the Horsehead Nebula here and the Flame Nebula, which kind of reside right next to the star Alnitak, then you're going to have to use a larger aperture telescope and be in a darker area, unless you have some light pollution filters. And give yourself time again and just go back and forth, and you'll eventually pick out the nebulosity and the dark nebula which forms the Horsehead itself. You'll also find nebulosity around the head of Orion. Now this is a lot more diffuse and is best actually picked up with a camera. But there's the bright star Betelgeuse, and then as you come across from the belt into Monoceros, which is the unicorn of the sky, you'll be able to find the Rosette Nebula, and this is a wonderful target for those who are doing some astrophotography. Really is quite a beautiful object to image, and what you want to identify is actually the star cluster, and find the star cluster, center that in your field of view, and then you'll be able to image away to your heart's content. And it's a very similar thing for observational viewers, because the nebulosity will be difficult to see in any small aperture telescopes. It becomes more prominent with a larger aperture, but you'll be able to find the star cluster quite easily. And once you've got that cluster, then you know you're in the right area. You've also got, at this time of year, the planet Jupiter, just below the twins of Gemini. And Jupiter in a pair of binoculars is actually quite nice. You just need to try to keep yourself nice and steady, and you'll be able to pick out the 4 Galilean satellites. You can see them here in a line. Now, you're not going to get any kind of definition on the planet, but you will see the dots, and over the course of the night, those kind of little dots will rotate around the planet or orbit the planet, and you'll be able to watch the motion. With a small telescope, this is the kind of view you would expect. So you get Jupiter, you'll start to see some of the bands appearing, and they're known as the equatorial bands. Larger aperture telescopes will start to bring out a bit more detail, so better resolution, and you'll be able to identify some more of the banding that goes along. And if you're lucky, you can also get some transit events that go across. You may even get to see the Great Red Spot. So hopefully someone in the UK is going to have some clear skies this evening, and you can nip outside and have a look. Just one final thing. As you look to Capella here and you come down to this star here, which essentially joins on to the V of Taurus or the Hyades, if you kind of drew a line between them and you kind of go down through that line, you'll actually start to see some more objects appear. And it's kind of one of the realms of the night sky that a lot of people overlook, because you'll get star clusters, as you can see here. We've got a series of, we call M36, 37 and 38. And you've got these lovely nebulas all around them. So from a photographic point of view, if you can frame Auriga, which is the entirety of the constellation, and you can do a long exposure image of it, you can capture a whole myriad of different objects, and they become quite pretty. So I wish you the best of luck, and don't forget you can actually see this for a couple of days in this particular area. Nothing's really going to move, but you just need the clear skies, and unfortunately at the moment we haven't got those in South Wales. So best of luck, and if you are interested in ever joining us, then you can find our link to our website in the details below. And anybody who does book with us, we've actually teamed up with the great guys down in First Light Optics, who will provide you with a discount for any equipment that you look to purchase.